Hello, and welcome to a LIBOR Master Class on creating your value proposition. I'm Mark Donnelly, 2025 President of LIBOR and a member of the Board of Directors. Most important, I've been a realtor on Long Island for 15 years and a coach and trainer for even longer. I'm going to share some ideas and tips today on how to craft your personal value proposition to help you convey your most authentic self, win confidence, and generate business in any market. Before we dive in, I'm going to suggest that you get a pen and paper to get started physically writing your value proposition. Yes, writing. That's the first step to making your value proposition second nature to you. So what are the deliverables of this talk? There are three. The first deliverable is to enable you to confidently deliver a short elevator pitch that answers the question, what do you do? Or even more direct, why should I work with you? The second deliverable is to help you craft a detailed, specific value proposition that can be used on your website, social media, in your buyer and seller presentations, and more. And finally, I'll share the 5 steps to put what we learned today into immediate practice. Let's talk about why a value proposition is more important than ever right now. We are living in a changed real estate business practice environment. Second, there is tremendous price sensitivity in the market. Consumers want to know, why should I pay you? And third, trust issues. A 2022 Gallup survey of Americans placed real estate agents below lawyers and just above bankers in ethics ratings by profession. So the question is, what are you going to adopt to adapt? Let's take a look at how adopting a great value proposition can help us adapt to new realities. First, a value proposition forms the basis of your verbal elevator pitch. It's called an elevator pitch because the idea is that you could easily say it to someone over the course of a short elevator ride. Second, a value proposition forms the basis of how you present yourself in other media, on your website, on social media, in print. Your value proposition is part of your brand. Now, let's look at each part of your value proposition. This would be a good time for you to get out that pen and paper or take some notes on your phone or tablet, whatever works for you. Let's start with the elevator pitch. What are its primary characteristics? First, it should be short, 1 to 2 sentences. Second, it needs to be authentic. An elevator pitch should be an honest reflection of you, a clear articulation of your winning differences. Third, it should be intriguing. Yes, intriguing. More about creating an intriguing elevator pitch in a moment. Finally, keep your elevator pitch focused upon the listener. This is important. Think beyond the transactional nature of what you do. Think about the emotional needs that human beings have. Things like our need for safety, security, love, respect, a desire to be heard, our need for community. Appealing to those needs captures and holds attention. Before we get to constructing an effective pitch, let's briefly talk about what an elevator pitch is not. First, it is not long-winded. Second, it is not your resume. Third, it does not sound canned or robotic. It shouldn't sound rehearsed, even though it is. And finally, it is not all about you. If you're saying a lot of I's, my's, me's, you may be off track. So let's get back to the emotional needs of a seller. Fortunately, the National Association of Realtors conducts an annual survey that asks sellers what they want from their real estate agents, and it's very revealing. We can look at the top 5 things sellers said they wanted in 2024 and translate those desired outcomes into realtor skills and the emotional needs that we can include in our elevator pitch. First, the seller wants to sell their property within a specific time period. The skills that we need as a realtor are competence, ability to get the job done quickly. And when we do that, we serve the emotional needs of the seller by giving them peace of mind, less stress, and save them time. Second, the seller expects you to price the property competitively and accurately. Realtor skills, we need market knowledge and experience in this business. This serves the seller's emotional needs of getting them the most money for their property, pricing it so it sells quickly, and preventing them from under or overpricing their home. Third, the seller expects us to market the home. Desired realtor skills, industry know-how, marketing skills to get the right buyers in the door. And this serves the emotional needs of the seller by de-stressing the situation by attracting qualified buyers, which saves them time. Fourth, the seller wants you to help them find ways to fix up the home to sell it for more money. Our realtor skills, understanding what fixes deliver payback, and help with staging. This serves the emotional needs of the seller by helping them make the right upgrades to maximize price and prevent them from making unnecessary fixes. Finally, of course, the seller wants you to find a buyer. Our skill set, the ability to write a great listing, have a network, and find qualified buyers. This helps a seller find a buyer who will come through, allaying their fear of uncertainty when it comes to selling. So, how do we combine this knowledge of what sellers want and what they emotionally need into a compelling elevator pitch? Here's a scenario. You're meeting a small group for the first time, perhaps at a cocktail party. The conversation moves to what everyone does for a living. A well-heeled person in the group turns to you and says, "And what do you do?" Here are 3 steps to a great response. First, smile and make direct eye contact. Next, deliver an elevator pitch that intrigues your audience. So how might you intrigue someone? You say something so compelling that it encourages the person to ask you a follow-up question. Let's give it a try. I'm at a party and I've just been asked what I do. I look the person straight in the eye and with a smile, I say something like, "I'm a realtor who demystifies buying or selling by making each step as simple as possible for my clients." Or, "I'm a realtor who helps Nassau County home sellers get top dollar and helps buyers find great properties, even in tight markets." Or, "I'm a realtor who specializes in taking the stress out of buying or selling in Queens." Or, "I'm a realtor who works to take the uncertainty and risk out of Hampton's real estate deals." The now interested listener may say, "Well, exactly how do you do that?" Congratulations. By hitting on emotional benefits and keeping it short, you've intrigued that potential seller or buyer into asking a follow-up question, and you are now in a conversation. The third step in delivering a pitch is to be ready to continue the conversation by saying how you deliver on what you stated in your elevator pitch. Here are some examples. You said you demystify buying or selling. The listener may wonder, well, how do you do that? I have a simple 5-step process so that there are no surprises. I also have a great marketing team and a proven network of professionals for appraisals, lending, and closings. You said, I help people in tight markets. How do you do that? There's always a way to help someone land on the right price or find a home in their ideal community. I get genuine joy from making people happy homeowners in any market. My team takes the stress out. How do we do that? We tackle all of the details of getting a property ready for sale. That proactive approach and upfront work goes a long way towards taking the anxiety out of selling. My team takes uncertainty out. How do you do that? I've encountered just about every curveball in real estate. Our methodical approach leads to very few surprises along the way. Notice what these deliverable statements don't include. They don't include facts about your years in the business, your designations or your certifications, where you went to school, the name of your company, or even the brokerage you work at. Your background information is important, and it can live on your online profile or in your print bio. If the person you're speaking to wants to know more about you, by all means, proceed, but always read the room and frame your experience in terms of the seller's needs. If someone is asking you for more information, it also might be the right time to ask them if they're thinking of selling or buying, or at least to present your card. As always, know your audience. Now, let's take a look at what buyers say are the top 5 things they want from realtors and how that list translates to their emotional needs. The first thing buyers said is they want their agent to help them understand the buying process. As agents, we need to be teachers, we need to coach, and we need to make things clear. And that helps buyers to have peace of mind, less stress, and makes the buyer feel competent and in control. The second thing buyers said they wanted most from their realtor is to point out unnoticed features or faults within the property. What skills do we as an agent need? Knowledge and experience. And what does that help a buyer to? Eliminate fear It helps them avoid costly mistakes and make them feel smart about their buying decision. Third, buyers want their agent to negotiate a better sales contract and terms. We as agents need to understand contracts and have better negotiation skills. And for a buyer, it gets them the best deal and makes their life easier. Fourth, they want a realtor who provides a better list of service providers. An example would be home inspectors. Skill set for us, trustworthy network, experience, and great contacts. Emotional payback to the buyer, they don't have to blindly search for pros like mortgage brokers, attorneys, and home inspectors. And finally, buyers want to improve their knowledge of search areas. Us as realtors, we need to educate, we need to have market insight, and we need to present great data. Buyers' emotional gain, by making them feel like they have an advocate in their corner, it makes sure that they haven't overlooked a great area when it comes to purchasing. These emotional needs, security, reassurance, freedom from fear of making a mistake, avoidance of being stressed, are very similar to the seller's needs. Speaking directly to those needs in your elevator pitch and other branding materials will distinguish you from the competition. These are your winning differences. Statements about exactly how you deliver on the client's needs are also a great way to get started writing out your distinctive value proposition that can be used online and in print. Now let's look at some examples of how to combine a bit of biographical information to statements that speak to a client's emotional needs. Staying laser focused on explaining each step in the process and truly understanding the client has enabled our ranking as one of the top selling realtors in Suffolk for over 15 years. My clients prefer to do business with someone who's earned the right to call themselves a realtor because we are held to a higher standard than someone who's solely a real estate practitioner. Happy clients talk about great service experiences. The service model our team has developed over the past 10 years delivers a high degree of satisfaction and creates clients who are more than glad to refer us to friends and family. All of these value proposition statements focus on a client's emotional needs while highlighting the skill and experience you have to deliver on those needs. These are the kind of statements you want on your social media profile and marketing materials. Now it's time for you to get to work writing your own elevator pitch and value proposition. Here are 5 steps to get started. Step number 1, think about what you do better than other realtors. Write down keywords. These are your winning differences. Are you a great marketer? Do you have a knowledge of a specific market or geography? Are you an excellent negotiator? Do you have the best attorneys, contractors, and home inspectors? List out all the things you do exceptionally well. Second, craft an elevator pitch that focuses on the listener's emotional needs. For example, a great marketer will alleviate my fears about possibly having to pay 2 mortgages for a long time or not finding the right buyer. Someone who works with people like me will probably understand my needs and listen to me. A realtor with great connections will save me time and keep the transaction on track. Third, write out how you deliver on what you've promised in your elevator pitch. Go back to the NAR list of what buyers and sellers want and the underlying emotional needs that we discussed earlier. Think about your own emotional needs and concerns when you make a big decision or a financial investment. Number 4, practice, practice, practice. The goal is to get the elevator pitch to easily roll off the tongue. Here are 2 ideas to help you. First, video yourself to observe your eye contact and facial expressions as you deliver your pitch. Time how long it takes you to say it. Is it 30 seconds or less? The second tip is to test your pitch on a friend. Tell them to be honest and ask them, do I sound authentic? Is the pitch compelling enough for you to want to ask me a follow-up question? Did I intrigue you? Step 5, refine and revisit. Your elevator pitch and value proposition can be adapted to different audiences and changing market conditions. Fine-tune them as you get more comfortable articulating your unique winning differences. I'm Mark Donnelly. I hope you've been inspired by this talk to tackle or revisit the way you present yourself to clients. Thank you for watching.